Hi everyone, this is Christine Josti of Mail Something Pretty, and I wanted to show you, first, thank you for purchasing the card kits I put together during this COVID-19 time. It's hard to have classes, so I put together a kit and all you have to do is assemble, and I just wanted to show you just a couple quick videos on how to do it. Nothing's complicated, but I figured kind of like a class. So these are the first two cards. I'm going to do 2 cards per video. So these are the 2 for this one. So I'm going to start with this one, and as you can even look at it, it's a pretty basic card. And in your envelopes, everything you need really, except for the adhesive, is in your envelope. So everything is pre-cut. There is no stamping. I'm not allowed to send stamped images through the mail or with parts of kits. So I didn't stamp anything on the inside, but you certainly could either stamp or write whatever you'd like on the inside. So this is the, I forget exactly what it's called, honeybee or something like that. The celebration paper, I had actually had several packs of it because I was going to do a fundraiser event in April, and we were going to use a bunch of this paper. So since that won't happen, I thought I would make kits together. So this is a regular size card base, and then I'm just going to, you can either use your snail or your glue and put it on top. And then what I did for this second card I'm going to show you was the honeycomb. So I might show you this for each video in case someone else watches it. Not including these 2 is the honeybee detailed bees dies. And so these are actually on back order right now, although it says in the report that they're supposed to be coming in this week, which is exciting because they've been on back order for a little while and I love them. And that's what we're going to do the whole class on, was these 2, so the stamp set and the dies. So for the sake of the kit class, I'm only using the dies, and then I added on a few other dies in the class. So that's the honeybee, which is this, and then I popped out the extra little hexagons and I put them on top. So you'll get all these little hexagons. You can use tweezers. I use that take a pick tool that picks them up. You can however you want to pick those up. And then I just put a little glue and put them down in somewhat random places. I'm kind of copying what I did. But you can put as many or as little down as you like. Just take a pick a tool certainly helps picking up the pieces. All right, and maybe a couple more. Kind of put that down and then decide where I wanted the other ones to go. The happy birthday cutout here I did in silver foil, and that was from a die a couple years ago that I still happen to have. So I thought that was good. That way we were able to include words, but no stamped words. And I'll just do one more. I may add on more later, but we'll see. I don't want you to watch me gluing the whole time. Okay, so the happy birthday is in the silver foil. You may find that I'm not going to punch out all of the little pieces for you. There'll be some, so just look over all your pieces to see. I'm going to just use my silicone mat just because if I get glue on this table while I'm doing the video, that will be a sticky mess. Just putting just tiny little dabs of glue. This is the multi-purpose liquid glue that I really like. You can use the fine tip glue, or if you have another means of sticking on little fine pieces, you can use that too. And then sometimes I take my tweezers to pick it up And then it helps me put it down. How simple is that? And then inside I just use the gray granite instead of white, since there was no white on the outside of the card. And then I'll just put a couple little, just to carry the little beehive hexagons to the inside, and just make them sure they're in the right direction. Okay, so that is your first card. Pretty easy, but it's a nice, really elegant birthday card. So I like it. Okay, so the second card here, again, everything comes in your envelope. We're going to use the gray granite. I tried to carry the same colors throughout just so all the cards kind of matched each other, or I shouldn't say matched. They coordinated each other. And this is just another print of that bee paper. There's a lot of the gold foil. Okay, so this next part I'm going to actually assemble on the vellum, and then we'll stick that whole piece onto here. Vellum, you want to, what I like about it is you can see through it, but because you can see through it, you don't want to see your adhesive. So I'm going to stick my honeycomb piece on first. Again, just a few little dabs. Use my tweezers. And I'm just going to put that kind of right in the middle. Tap it down. Okay. And the amazing, there was a die set, oh, there's my phone. I'm just going to let it ring. A couple years ago, it had amazing celebrate in U. We're going to use the U on this card as well. Again, a way of getting words onto your cards. That's probably CVS. They're like the only people who call. Okay, and then just glue that down. Now I'm going to do it, and then I'll tell you what I did. I put the amazing kind of along the linear part of that, so I think you can read it better than if you put it in the space. It was a little less busy, but you can put it wherever you like. Okay, so then there's you. A little bit of glue. Okay, and then the bee, I cut it out of the gold glimmer paper. And a trick, what I do, and you can only do it on symmetrical dies, so the words don't work, but because, you know, this is symmetrical on both sides, I actually put the sparkly paper down on my Big Shot, and then I put the die on top that way. And so the die was actually cutting through the paper first, not necessarily the glitter, and I think that just helps it, it helps not mess up the die with the glitter paper. Okay, so the bee I put and actually this bee is from the dragonfly set that I think it retired last year. It had a couple dragonflies and it had this bee in it, and so just another bee option for the class. But I put black behind it so you could see it a little bit better. I think I dropped. Did I drop one of my circles? All right, well, I may have dropped one of my circles, but it's okay. This is a 1/2 inch circle, and it fits kind of perfectly right on there. I'm just gonna see, oh, it did, it fell on the floor. Let's see if I can reach it. Okay, and then I'll put another dab of glue and put the other circle on top, so that way when you flip it over it has the black, the glue will dry clear. So that's one way of getting your bee multicolored, because there's only one die, there's no like insert die. So I just put a little glue on there. All right, so I'm going to turn it over. So now I'm going to put, I'm just going to use glue because I have it, or you could use snail, where there is the paper on the other side, because you won't see the glue through the paper, you would only see it through the vellum. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm kind of hiding the glue. And it's enough, it'll be sticky enough to the card. You don't have to worry that the corners won't be stuck down, but that's okay. All right. Just carefully press, because I know everything's kind of still wet. And that's kind of how I put the vellum onto the paper. So there you go. Those are your first 2 cards. And I will film the next 2 on the next video. Thank you. This is Christine from Mail Something Pretty. Bye-bye.